Welcome back to another YouTube video of FlareFX, where we make trading very simple. Now in today's video, I'll be breaking down gold from the top down. You know what I mean? We'll be starting from the weekly time frame, going all the way to the 1 hour time frame, seeing different ways of how we can execute, mainly just for the next financial year. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're back here, welcome back, Flare family. It's always good to have you here. Right, so with gold, right, I just really want to start afresh. Like all the analysis that we've done the past previous weeks have been very good. Gold has managed to break this highs. Let me just show you. This is the highs we were anticipating that gold will get to eventually, and it wicked. This is such a beautiful thing that happened during the week. There's a wick that happened, so the liquidity has been taken as we predicted last week, right? But main reason why I really want to raise everything is because I want us to really break down gold to the depth, right? Because now we're moving into the next financial year, right? And we want to see where is gold gonna go and how we as traders can capitalize on the movement of gold, right? So I'll give you my very own perspective from the top down, from the weekly analysis till the daily and till the maybe 1 hour time frame, to see if you can get those refined entries. But for now, just make sure to watch till the end, guys. All right, so let's get started. So clean cut finish. Let's just remove this. As much as you can see, right, gold has been really playing around this range, right, between here and here, right? So we can classify this as the most recent low, relatively the lowest point, and then this is the relatively the high. So you could anticipate that gold has been consolidating. Yes, it might not have bounced off of here, but we can say we've been trading around between 1615 and relatively 20,000 ounces, right, 2,000 ounces, right? So now I just want to really break down what you call this, the market structure, right, as much as it is. So clear cut finish, gold had went down, right, continued to go up, made these lows, continue to go higher and higher, right? So with my analysis and what I'm seeing, I can already see that gold had already mitigated this order block over here, right? Hence the movement to the top, right? But now also we need to understand like the market structure in it of its own. Let me just get in a deeper, zoom in just a little bit, just like that, right? So we can clearly see that a change of character initially happened over here. This is the weekly time frame, guys. Remember that when we go in the daily time frame, all of these things will be relatively clear, right? So this is the change of character that happened over here, right? So I can clearly see that this is the low that we can be focusing on and the high that we're focusing on. So this is relatively the range we're playing in here and relatively over here, right? We can remove this because we understand that this was the high that it had taken out. So relatively we're playing between these 2 points, right? Relatively over here and relatively here. Let's just make this one red just for introspection. So yeah, the high is red, the low is blue, right? Let's go into the daily time frame. Usually this is what we do. So now we are on the daily time frame. As you can clearly see, a change of character initially happened, right? Change of character, price came and respected which order block? This one, right? Hence the movement to the top. Beautiful clean cut finish. It's just market structure, the way the market moves, right? So as much as it is, like, one thing you need to really pay attention, especially with gold, it has these impulsive moves that really it really comes back to and respects the charts, right? So all I'm saying is that really pay attention to it, especially since I've been trading gold with you guys as the week has been going on. I've been realizing these things, like gold is a very volatile pair, but the nice thing about this thing, it really pays, right? So clean cut finish, we come over here, right, and we can mark out this as a break of structure, right, because the change of character initially happened on the lower time frame. So we can mark this out as a break of structure. This is relatively in the daily time frame, right? So now looking at all of this thing, we understand that our next probable entry is relatively between this area over here, right? So we can take this over here. This can just help it, like it really helps to kind of gauge where we can be looking into. So we've really broken to the 50%. So now relatively our order block will be relatively between this area over here, right, after the mitigation. Let's tap into the 4 hour time frame. Clean cut finish. So yeah, 4 hour time frame, as you can clearly see, price has been moving down into this point over here. So now looking at everything, looking at gold in and of its own, I can clearly see that this is the most probable order block, as I can clearly see. Mainly I'm saying this, right, because of the purge of liquidity that happened over here, right? Purge of liquidity relatively over here, and also like it's also at a very sensitive zone, guys. Like if you take this relatively over here, like this is where price has been bouncing off of, right? As you can clearly see, price has been bouncing off of this area, came back, it bounced. You get what I mean? So it's relatively a good spot, mainly because of the confluences that are stacking up, right? As you can clearly see. So we move this, and even if we can take this and take the break of structure and mark it over here relatively by this order block, right? As you can clearly see, guys, a lot of people have been asking how I really use this tool to kind of understand, like with trading, really 50% is a dangerous spot, like, no, not dangerous, but more a very high confluence zone, right? I will put the link of the video over here, like it's a premium and discount, so you can relatively understand how you can also use it in your trading, right? But obviously, now we move this, right? So now I'm highlighting this order block mainly because it's the one that really, I could say, triggered the break of structure, because relatively here there's all choppiness and price has gotten over here impulsively. So already you can tell like there isn't really anything, so to say, right? And another thing that makes me very interested is because there's liquidity resting over here, like relatively below these lows, like you can mark it out like this, right? So clean cut finish. So this is an order block that we are anticipating on executing buys on, right? All the way to what? To the highs over here, right? But obviously this is a whole wick action situation. Relatively when you go to the 1 hour time frame, a lot of the things will make sense, but for now, 4 hour time frame, this is a good one. This is a swing trade, guys. Like when I really start my analysis on the higher time frame, right, and you genuinely want to take these types of trades, you need to understand that if the entry or the order block has been highlighted on the 4 hour time frame, and we do go to the 1 hour time frame, and maybe we can refine it as much as it is, then you can take those trades. But understand that long term, this is a long term move, right? So right now, we understand this is a long term move. Our long term move is for buys, right? So our long term move is this. Into here, over to the top over here, right? That's our long term move, right? Now, me tapping into the 1 hour time frame, let me just go to the 1 hour. Me tapping into the 1 hour time frame like this. Now we're looking for the short-term moves into the long-term move, right? Understanding that makes it easier for you to really trade, right? So now, even if we can break down market structure from the T over here, right? Here was a break of, we could classify this as a change of character, right? It initially happened over here, but for relativity, we'll just mark it out. This is on the 1 hour time frame, guys. Pay attention, right? So if we are on the 1 hour time frame, we understand that we are looking for what? For the short-term movements into the long-term movements, right? So we can classify this as a change of character because there was a break of structure, price moved up, price came back down and broke the low over here and continued to move low, right? So we can mark these out as breaks of structures like this, break of structure over here, and then another break of structure over here, right? Clean cut finish. We can mark this out as a break of structure here, and then this one also as a break of structure here. So now you can already see that there's a lot of, what do you call this? There's a lot of bullish and bearish movement into the long-term movement. The long-term move is the one that we highlighted on the what? On the 4 hour time frame, right? So now moving and zooming in a little bit more deeper into gold, right? And trying to understand like, what are we really looking for in terms of the short-term move, right? So cool, break of structure happened, right? My anticipation is that gold would relatively move back up again. We'll mark this low, mark relatively this high over here. So we can anticipate gold to move into this spot over here. Let's go to the 2 hour time frame, because like as much as it is, if you don't really see an order block as clear as day on the 1 hour time frame, it really looks nicer on the 2 hour time frames. Like look at this one, right? So now we come over here, as you can clearly see, we can mark out that is a purge of liquidity relatively over here. This is a purge of liquidity, right? And then we mark this out as a purge of liquidity. I just want to make it look a little bit more cleaner because hey, I'm just OCD like that. Okay, yeah, clean cut finish. So this is a purge of liquidity, right? Purge of liquidity, money has been taken from a few of the guys that were buying. So now the money has been taken, hence the strong move. This is, I think, is relatively NFP time, hence why the whole dump into it, right? So now we understand that there's smart money resting over relatively on this order block over here. So we highlight this order block relatively over here, right? And then we come in and put a short position relatively. So this is a what? A short move, right? We're selling into the long-term buy, right? So here relatively there, right? And then into here, right? And then we're going to buy from here relatively into the high that we've marked out on the 4 hour time frame. Let me just push this up and then go to the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame relatively, yeah, this is the high that we're targeting, right? So now short-term move, here it is. Where's the thing? Short-term move into this order block, into the long-term move all the way to the top over here. We go to the 2 hour time frame just for reference. What I mean is price, I anticipate price coming, or I anticipate gold coming into this order block relatively that we marked out on the 2 hour time frame. We can make it a little bit cleaner like this, right? As soon as price comes in over here, we sell all the way into this bottom over here. This order block is relatively big, guys. So using things like the gang box is really an introspection. So you could probably execute relatively over here. The beauty of this thing, look at this. I'll probably highlight this. It'll highlight the middle. Like this will highlight from the bottom over here and relatively over here. So relatively just by the wick, like there, right? So maybe your entry could be a little bit more in the middle. Let's just go to the 4 hour time frame just to fix it up so you can see. For those who really don't have big accounts, because I understand not everybody's trading with huge accounts, so using this would really help for people who really wanna execute, right? So now looking at it this way, let's just remove the short-term move in this thing so we can really focus on the long-term one. You can execute relatively based on the 50% of this order block and then relatively like this. But one thing I need you to be mindful of, right, with gold, look at this. Like gold it's really powerful, guys. Look, it doesn't waste time. Like, let me go on the daily time frame. I think this is what we caught on the daily time frame. It just touches and go, guys, especially if it's a very, very high probability trade or high probability order block. Like, look at this one, right? We have highlighted it, right? We have highlighted this. Even this order block, this is a daily order block. It makes sense because it's the one that really broke the high and continued to move higher and higher, right? So just pay attention to this too. But what I'm saying is, like, the 50%, right, does work in most cases, right? But one thing I've realized with gold, like, it does, look at this, like, it's instantaneous. It's like, I'm in the order block, I have to move, right? And I'm anticipating the same thing for what? For this order block as well. We could probably highlight the whole thing, but for refinement already, like, because this is a swing trade, guys, we already refined this to the T, right? On the daily time frame, the order block is supposed to look like this. Like, relatively, let me just use this. It's supposed to look like that, right? And then when we go into the 4 hour time frame, let me move this. This is how we've refined it. We've refined it to this order block relatively over here, right? So I'm saying, I understand that some people might not be trading with big accounts, so risk a little bit less than you usually can, and then take the trade, guys. It's a solid one. With gold, it really moves really quickly, so you don't want to be left out, right? It's not a fear of missing out at this point. It's just understanding that the way this pair moves is really impulsive and really quick. So just make sure to pay attention to that. So let's just go on the 1 hour time frame just to rerun everything back for the people who are lost. We're planning on what? Selling in. We're planning on waiting for price to come into this order block over here that we spotted on the 2 hour time frame, right? This one, it looks relatively clean, right? So once the short-term move comes into this order block relatively over here, then we're planning on taking price all the way down here. From the down here, we're planning it on going all the way to the what? To the tippity top relatively over here, right? Because even here, like, as much as this wick action, if you go to the lower time frame, there is order blocks like maybe 30-minute relatively. Like, the deeper you go in, the more you see that, hey man, maybe there is an order block. Let's just go in a bit deeper and a bit deeper. But yeah, with this one, it's clear. It's just impulse and then breakdown. You get what I mean? But that's the whole move with gold, guys. I really just wanted to focus on this one mainly this week because, like, the currency pairs are moving really slow. Hence why I'm like, gold is a very good one, because a lot of investors are pulling out of their investment funds. They're already investing into commodities, silver, gold, oil. You know, those are the things that a lot of the investors are putting their money into. Different assets, these are more reliable more than currencies and you know, and different financial instruments, because they are very volatile, right? Gold is volatile, but it's a safe option. It's a good asset. You know, gold can never sell for a long time and gold will never buy for a long time. So it's a relatively good one just to keep your investments in. So I really want to focus more on it because I can anticipate that it's going to be the one that's going to be paying us, right? Even next year, I'm planning on really tapping down on gold, guys. So make sure that if you are interested in mentorship, or if you are interested in Discord calls and stuff like that, just click the link in my bio. Everything is there. And then afterwards, join the team so we can work together. If you do enjoy my content, you'll definitely enjoy joining the Regal Circle. It does go hard every day, every week, guys. But other than that, thank you for watching this far. It's Mr. Flair signing out.